So both valve covers are on. The bottom one's torqued to 89 inch-pounds, about 7.5 foot-pounds, so I gave them 8 foot-pounds. I don't have an inch-pounds torque wrench, so good enough. The top ones, whatever they were, but I gave them 6, which was about 5.5 foot-pounds. So you can take your inch-pounds divided by 12, gives you foot-pounds, just in case somebody doesn't know that formula. Pretty simple. It just, yeah, they just don't need to be very tight. So you can just snug them up by hand, but then you got to make sure you put you grab your ratchet right up against the head like this and just give them a light twist with the wrist, and that's about tight enough too. So got that all ready to go. Everything's done underneath there. Got this fuel rail on the passenger side. I just buffed it up a little bit to kind of make it a little less messy. So it's not perfectly clean, but it's not too bad. Then put the other side rail on. Anti-seize in everything. All of these bolts get anti-seized. All of those bolts get anti-seized. As I pull those bolts out up here, they'll all get anti-seized as I need them. This one already got it. So kind of everything that I pulled apart, I put some anti-seize on it so that next time it's, or so that the bolt never rusts into the hole. Hopefully there's no next time. So it's, maybe when they go to pull this engine apart for scrap or something, they got good bolts to work with. Or whatever. So yeah, time for the other side fuel rail, and then put the crossover line into the valley. I'm gonna anti-seize the little nut right there that holds that coolant line on. Anti-seize that thing, put it back on, tighten it up. This thing comes out of there. Then like I say, the fuel line comes into the valley for the crossover line, which is sort of a stupid setup. I have no idea why they would do that, but anyway, they want it to be a certain length or something, must be. Then I can put injectors back in and injector lines. So start with that. Gonna start cleaning up some injector lines. Turbo's gonna stay messy because someday hopefully put a bigger one in, or I might just go with a twin kit and just leave that one there and let it look all messy and just have another one over here. But see how it goes. Are on there, torque down to Guten tight. Remember, it's Guten tight for aluminum because it's going into aluminum. But Guten tight for aluminum is different than Guten tight for steel. Anyway, I think I'm up to this box here. We'll put that down there and back up a step. Anybody can guess what's in there? I think there's no markings anywhere. I got tore off. For this great big box, pop this open. I already had it open there when it first arrived because I didn't believe that such a tiny thing came packaged in such a big box, but I think we could have saved 50% of the shipping cost. But anyway, this is the Exergy Performance metering valve. If I can get it out of there. So there's the Exergy metering valve right there. It says Exergy Performance. Oh, come on. There, try it again. Exergy System Saver Improved Stock FCA. So we're going to pull the other one out. A couple of bolts. We'll clean that up around there a little bit. We'll have to cover the intake and cover the turbo because we're going to be blowing some high pressured air at it. Try to clean that up so we don't get any dirt down in the pump. And then we're going to stick this metering valve in there. So that'll be the next project. And then after that, we'll get that crossover line in the valley and get figured out which fuel lines we actually need. Gonna leave this one this way. This one here, I'm probably gonna turn, or I'm going to turn and aim it over here once I have this metering valve changed. Spin this one around, aim it this direction, and then it'll be ready for what we're gonna do here. Again, this fuel supply is gonna be coming off of this side of the engine. We're coming up this side of the engine straight to the pump. So yeah, we don't need this thing turned back this way because this is the return line, and it was facing down here and then going in the return line that went down the valley, then up and over, all the nonsense that it did. So do that as soon as we get this metering valve swapped out. So hopefully when we get it apart, have a little peekaboo in there and see how bad it looks, or how good it looks, or what the pump looks like. If we see a bunch of filings, then we'll be out $2,300 buying a 12 mil stroker pump. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's good, and then we'll do that 12 mil stroker later. Much later. Like after I drive it for a while later. So I've got the top side cleaned up there. Everything looks good down in there. You can see the line, a little bit of dirt that was stuck to the side of it, but didn't get anything down in the pump. Try to get that to focus. Put my hand behind it. So, no filings, but a little bit of gunk there. You see the screen just starting to collapse or cave in a little bit with the gunk that was on it. See if that's going to focus. See if we can make it focus. Come on. Come on. Perfectly on my... There we go, kinda. Too much light, not enough light. How about that? No way. Just a wee bit of gunk on the thing, though. You can see it right there. The screen's a little bit wrinkled. Come on, right there. You can kind of see it's wrinkled. A little bit of gunk on there. So anyway, these screens are garbage. They're supposed to do their job and keep garbage from going into the pump, but screens are made so weak that they blow out long before anything ever even hardly gets on them. Of course, now it won't focus at all. And look at that, eh? So it's been in and out of my pockets. See the wrinkles in there now. A little bit of garbage. See a little bit of garbage right there on the screen. So pretty clean all in all. I don't see any filings. But a little bit of whatever made it through the filter or coming out of the filter or whatever. Filter glue, maybe. So anyway, one layer of screening. The Exergy, they have a screen that is much stronger. It's got some backing behind it, so that should be a little safer. You can do that and keep running the CP4 pump. This other stock one, I guess I will put a cap on it, throw it in the bag, and collect it like I do everything else. Oh, it even says Exergy. Got a patent and everything on their system. So anyway, it goes in here just like so. And that O-ring in the bottom is going to seal up in the bottom. We're going to just wiggle it down into place, and the diesel fuel in there is going to lubricate everything. I'll just pull it out again just to make sure that diesel got everywhere. And then we'll put the bolts in, tighten her up. And again, might as well use some anti-seize. So, had to pull this driver's side rail back off, get it right out of the way. Had to pull turbo bolts there, they're loose. They pry up on the turbo to get this fuel line to come up underneath there. So the fuel line goes right there in that little hole. Gonna get a bolt mounted in there yet. But had to pull this right out of the way because it couldn't fit. So I'm assuming I had the head off when I pulled this fuel line out, because I don't recall. I for sure didn't pull the turbo for it because I only pulled the turbo bolts to put anti-seize on them. So yeah, that's what I had to do with that. Pretty big job for that, just to get that in there. So yeah, tighten the turbo back down now. Can tighten this up, but I got that started on there. So yeah, I got fuel lines in there going up from the fuel pump. That one kind of crosses in behind that crossover line, and they go up together. Those are going to slide together and actually meet on that bracket that's going to go in there. And they go in there. Then next up is this fancy little box, and this is a GM actual AC Delco part. So there's your part number if somebody needs one, and these are the return line set. So it's a full, supposed to be, I just actually cut the tape on it just now. Yeah, it's a full unit. Comes all the injector returns. It's got that little connector, check valve, whatever you want to call that thing. Not sure what's inside of it. And then it's got the other line that goes over here, goes into the return. So that was 300 and XYZ dollars straight from GM because nobody else had it. So it's a GM only kind of thing because I couldn't find it on Merchant Automotive, so I give them a call. They didn't have it. So yeah, ready to put in some injectors. We'll set that there for now. We'll put in the injectors, put in the injector lines, then we'll tie in that return line, kind of close everything up so we're ready to go.
Me too.
I got my injector helper. Ready? Yeah? Okay, let's put some injectors in.